Only he will bring us closer when we fall to our knees.
And he'll lift us from the ground so that everyone can see that we never lost our freedom. It's in his glory.
This is bad, dude. This is a QAnon song that was put together by just a bunch of QAnoners, like a ton of them. Primarily, I think Jeremy Levy is his name, or Jimmy Levy. He was on American Idol, and he got pretty far, actually. And he turned out to just be like this MAGA rapper. Dude, I'm telling you, when I get older, I'm going to have a permanent brow furrow like this. Permanent brow furrow from all of the crazy that I see day in and day out. He produced this brand new song and included every major QAnon figure in it. So I want to start out by going through the song. I want to listen to the whole thing beginning to end, talk about what's in it and what they're talking about and what any of it means. And we're going to do breakdowns of some of the more famous people that did guest appearances in here, okay? So this guy that we're listening to right here,
In his glory.
this guy is Big Nick. He's a TikToker with somewhere around 2.3 million subbies, I think. Very famous and absolutely terrible. He is insane. If you want to hear about him, stick around. I'll be covering him in the next video. But for now, let's talk about the song and the heavy lifting whatever computer had to do to auto-tune the hell out of this. It's like Michael Flynn here. It's like he's stating what he wanted to say, just stating it. And auto-tune is working overtime, just frying that CPU, trying to turn it into something that plausibly sounds like a singing voice.
Only he will bring us closer when we fall to our knees.
He's seriously just stating it, right? Is this not just him stating it? He's in a song, man. To be fair, actually, like when we get into the song a little bit, you'll see the whole group. There are some people in here that are really, really QAnon famous and didn't sing a single line. Like this guy over here, Grant Stinchfield, I think is his name in the left, right next to Big Nick. He never said a word in the song, and that's probably his best bet. That was a wise decision. If you don't have any formal musical training or singing voice or whatever, if you don't know how to do it, don't try without training, okay? In a professional environment where you know millions of people are going to be listening, just don't. I don't care if you have auto-tune. Matter of fact, that makes it worse. Anyway, let's listen to the song here. We'll skip to the beginning. Amidst a firmament consumed by the oppressive grip of government overreach and tyrannical control, a man by the name of Jimmy Levy emerged. That's a dude that went through American Idol, almost went to the end. Poised to make a difference. Fueled by the Holy Spirit, he set out to bring together a group of gifted individuals. United by a common thread, they poured their souls into recording the timeless and evocative hymn of freedom. Hymn. A hymn of freedom. It's a religious song, is how they're framing it. And it's full of QAnoners. All right, so let's listen to it, shall we?
You can take all our money, but you can't have our soul. You can burn down our buildings, and we'll still find a home.
He's got a beautiful singing voice, really. He knows how to sing for real. Listen to what he does here.
And we'll still find a home.
You hear that little, oh, like that little trilling that he did? Vibrato is what it's called. A lot of the time people try to cover up their poor singing with vibrato. That is not what he was doing. He was using it appropriately. And also, what is wrong with this beard? What is happening with this? There's something deeply wrong with this beard. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's satanic. I feel like I want to say the beard is satanic. Should I go that far? Quick interjection. I won't take long. I just wanted to tell you guys, YouTube's algorithm operates off of a few factors. Watch time, whether or not you subscribe, and whether or not you like something. So if you really want to help my channel, I would appreciate it if you guys watch the video to the end. If you don't watch it to the end, just watch a little bit longer than you would have otherwise. I would appreciate that very much. All right, let's get back to the video. Oh, yeah, and about that they'll burn down our buildings thing.
You can burn down our buildings.
Give me a break, man. That didn't happen, okay? None of that happened. I live in New York City. There's this whole thing where QAnoners and the right in general, honestly, just the right, claim that Black Lives Matter burned down New York City, burned down Portland and Seattle, Washington, and all these other places. In Spokane, Washington. I was told recently by a voicemail caller that I pronounced it wrong when I said Spokane. I apologize for that one. Spokane, Washington. They're all standing, guys. They weren't burned to the ground. Matter of fact, there were a couple of buildings that were burned down at various points. There were a couple of fires lit. That's true. But would it surprise you to find that many of the fires that were lit, or at least some of the fires that were lit were actually lit by right-wing neo-Nazi provocateurs? According to Reuters News and AP News, the far right wants to turn this whole they can burn down our buildings thing into like this point of persecution. First of all, the people who live in these cities realize that it's not dangerous at all, and it's not being burned to the ground. And second, the people singing this probably don't live in those cities, so they have no idea if this is true or not. They're just assuming it is.
And we'll still find a home.
Really good singer.
We'll all stick together, and we'll never surrender. We won't give up our freedom.
It's got almost like a raspy sound to it, you know? It's really, really good. And he's absolutely on key. Now, that may be because of auto-tune. We know they're not above using auto-tune, right? But you can usually tell if somebody is a bad singer and using auto-tune to cover that up. If he's using auto-tune, I can't tell. Very impressive. Complete QAnon nutcase. Really good singer.
There were bright lights before it all went too dark. And there white lies, they divided our heart.
What are they talking about? Bright light before it all went dark? White light divided our heart. What?
In the blink of an eye, we were all left with scars.
What are you talking about? Who was left with scars?
Listen to man-made decisions, should've trusted God.
You can take all our money, but you can't have our soul.
Who lost their money? Who had their money taken by... I don't know. Who takes money? What's his name? George Soros? Is George Soros taking your money or something? Who had that happen? Please inform me. One example.
You could burn down our buildings, and we'll still find a home.
We were lost in
This woman right here, former Pussycat Doll from the band, the Pussycat Dolls. She's the only former band member to hit the Billboard charts for a single that she did, I think. I don't remember. Maybe she hit #1 on the Billboards. I don't remember what it was exactly. She's very famous. She was into acting, too, for a while. She's been in some very influential and famous movies and TV shows and stuff. And apparently she's a QAnoner, too. Everybody on this stage is a QAnoner. And like I said, we'll get into it in another segment, or if you just stick around to see the rest of this one, I'll talk about a couple of them.
We will all stick together and we'll never surrender. We won't give up our freedom.
Okay, she is a bad singer. You can hear auto-tune trying to correct for the fact that she's completely off key. The other girl, though, was pretty good.
We won't give up.
You hear auto-tune, it's like a robotic underwater sound that you're listening to.
Our freedom.
From the shores of California, all the way down to the Keys.
This is Forgiato Blow, another famous QAnon rapper. We're going to be talking about him today, too, a little bit.
Only he will bring us closer
Michael Flynn.
when we fall to our knees.
And he'll lift us from the ground so that everyone can see that we never lost our freedom. It's in his glory.
We never lost our freedom. It's in history? Is that what he said? Okay, let me tell you something about this song. It's performed within a certain kind of range, like a certain octave, right? It's not really, like, when you go outside of that range with, like, a single note, you've got to really mean it, and it's got to be good. There's got to be a reason for that. Big Nick went way up here for absolutely no reason. And auto-tune was struggling to keep up, dude. They probably burned through, like, 6 CPUs trying to auto-tune this guy's voice alone.
You lift us from the ground, so that everyone can see.
You see, he went even higher with that, so that everyone, like, I can't even reach that octave. That's crazy. Dude's got some wicked vocal cords.
Lift us from the ground.
I mean, he doesn't know how to use those vocal cords, but he's got them apparently.
You lift us from the ground, so that everyone can see that we never lost our freedom. It's in his glory.
Like, I don't even know what that means.
You can take all our money, but you can't have our soul.
You can burn down our buildings, and we'll still find a home.
Okay, she went with the classic intelligent decision to not vary her voice too much, so auto-tune didn't have to do much struggling or jumping around. I don't believe that... I'm sure they used auto-tune on that. It didn't sound natural at all. But at least she didn't do the Big Nick thing of going way up high inexplicably. This is Liz Crokin. She is a QAnoner also. We're going to be talking about her in the next video. And she is about as extreme as it gets. Just keep watching. We'll get there. Oh my God, some of the stuff she says is crazy.
We will all stick together, and we'll never surrender.
We won't give up our freedom.
Okay, that one sounded like she had an interesting voice, but she doesn't know how to use it at all. That was very obviously auto-tuned to hell, right? This woman right here, she made an intelligent decision with auto-tune.
And we'll never surrender.
She did the huh thing, and when she goes huh, she changes her pitch, right? So auto-tune has a lot less of a hard time trying to keep up with the absolute garbage she's throwing at it, because she does the huh thing, picks a note, and stays there. Auto-tune can kind of adjust it to where it belongs. Fascinating. Okay, now this guy's apparently a comedian. This next singer, never heard of him before.
Oh, we are running from left to right.
Yet we find nothing on either side.
We'll live in a doubt until we all just figure out that only God gives it to us. God gives us freedom. The Lord, He gives us freedom. And we just love His freedom. No, we
Yeah, right here, this guy. This is Grant Stinchfield on the left. He was a Newsmax host. You can only see like the bottom half of his face next to Big Nick here. And he's only in here for like half the song, weirdly. Never has a singing line. I don't even know why he's here.
won't give up our freedom. God gives us freedom. The Lord, He gives us freedom.
It's like they feel like they're so persecuted. Like they believe that they're being attacked by somebody. Honestly, they're singing about like losing their freedom. Who did you lose your freedom to? Who took it? Where did it go? This makes absolutely no sense. And it's an embarrassment. It's like a terrible embarrassment. Like everybody on this stage is filthy rich and hasn't lost anything to anybody. I mean, look, even this dude right here, Michael Flynn. worked as a foreign agent against United States interests while in public office, undermined the authority of the U.S. president. He was somebody really high up in Obama's administration. Russia invaded Ukraine in 2014. Obama put sanctions on Russia. They don't say a word about it, and he's like, why didn't they say anything? That's unusual. Russia cries about everything. It turns out Michael Flynn told Russia, just stick it out. We're going to wait and see what happens. If Donald Trump wins this election, we're going to drop the sanctions. Lo and behold, Russia put time and effort and money into bot farms and propaganda networks, and Donald Trump wins the election and drops the sanctions. Now, I don't know what you call that legally, but I call that treason. The guy was charged for working as a foreign agent in the United States, convicted and sentenced, and pardoned by Donald Trump. Nobody on this stage is a victim. They are literally victimizers. They are people who have taken steps to hurt the United States intentionally. Okay, now they're going through the credits. Trump Latinos, is that a band? Billboard charting duo. And this is number 2 of Trump Latinos, Billboard charting duo, apparently. Marcus Rogers, he's a pastor. I've never heard of Marcus Rogers. You know what? I'm going to write some of these names down since I'm thinking about it. Let's see. Hang on. Dude, I bet I can get so much crazy stuff off of this dude. We'll see. We'll see what he has to say. Then we've got Mises, Billboard charting rapper. Never heard of this one either. Jessica Sutta, she's the former Pussycat Doll. Angela Stanton King, reality show star, pro-life advocate. Never heard of her before. Forgiato Blow, that's who we're going to be talking about in a minute. Number 1 Billboard charting rapper. Yeah, he is a MAGA rapper. He only ever talks about MAGA. It's insane. Michael Flynn, 18th Director of Defense Intelligence Agency, 24th U.S. National Security Advisor. Except if you notice, they have his name written down here as General Flynn. That's incorrect. He's not a general anymore. He had his rank stripped from him because he effectively committed treason. In my opinion, he committed treason. He's a traitor in spirit, at the very least. Not only did he do that stuff with Russia, you know what else he did? He worked with the Turkish government. The Turkish government is technically an ally of the United States, but they're like a far-right, nearly borderline dictatorship right now, right? And they want some of their political opponents dead. Like Erdogan is the political leader there. He wants some of his opponents dead for some things. Now, one of his political opponents moved to the United States, escaped to stay safe. And Michael Flynn, while acting as the 18th Director of Defense Intelligence Agency leader, National Security Advisor, whatever, took a contract from Turkey to get this guy that Turkey wanted and bring him back to Turkey to face execution. Seriously. Michael Flynn belongs in prison. He deserves to rot there for the rest of his life. Instead, he's speaking a song and having auto-tune do all the heavy lifting for him and making who knows how much money from it. It's an embarrassment. Yeah, this is Big Nick. He's just, God. We're going to talk about him. We'll get there. Liz Crokin, investigative journalist. Not quite. Known for iconic Out of the Shadows documentary. Now, I pulled up this documentary, and I'm going to take a look at it. I'm not sure if I want to watch it on air or not. We may watch it. We'll see. Siggy Flicker, author, Real Housewives of New Jersey. Okay, wow. Zoe Levy, I assume that this is Jeremy Levy's wife? Singer-songwriter, former American Idol star? Yeah, I don't know. James McCoy Taylor, The Bachelorette? Okay. Where are they digging these people up from? King Bao, professional fighter. Bobby Take Naps Sauce. Is that his real name? Bobby Sauce? With the nickname Take Naps? Okay. He's a comedian and political commentator. And then Conservative Ant, comedian, political commentator. Stella Escobedo, news anchor on One America News. Oh my God, she's got to be psychotic then. Grant Stinchfield, hosted at Real America's Voice. Yeah, we're going to be talking about him too. He used to be a Newsmax host. I guess he moved to Real America's Voice. Michelle Lubin Terrace, creator of Jexit Foundation, political activist, prayer warrior. Oh my God, prayer warrior. Imagine putting that on a resume. Inspiration for this song and video. Jill Donne, reality TV star, matchmaker, investigator, author. You can't just put whatever the hell you want on your resume. You can't just claim to be an investigator. Does she have, like, licenses? Has she ever worked in the field professionally? Or does she just wander around and shove her phone in people's faces and demand interviews from people she doesn't like? Like, I have no idea. And then Jimmy Levy, the director. Just painful, dude. Absolutely painful. So let's talk about some of these people. Today I want to talk about Forgiato Blow. He was one of the people in there. And I want to talk about Michael Flynn and his connection to the evangelical world. So Forgiato Blow, actually, a little while back, he did another song called, wait, what was it? Was it Boycott Target? Yeah, I think it's Boycott Target. Give you a little bit of a cultural context. At the time, there was this big uproar about how Target had a pride section, take pride section. And some people found these take pride items, like take pride wine, I think they had, and maybe like a pride flag or something. And they brought it from the pride end cap to the baby section and stuck it in an end cap in the baby section and took a picture of it and said, look, Target is trying to make babies gay. They're trying to come after your kids and all this other junk, right? That's how this huge uproar over Target started. And at the time, Bud Light was facing some backlash simply for working with a trans influencer. That's it. Because they were trying to get into the trans influencer market or whatever. You know, whatever fans the trans influencer happened to have. Dylan Mulvaney, I think. Is that right? Anyway, he made a song about it, May 25th, 2023, and it's about as bad as you'd expect. I'm just going to skim through, listen to like a couple bars from it, okay?
Yeah. Intentional shoppers.
Oh, yeah, Jeremy Levy is in this song, too. Apparently, Forgiato Blow and Jeremy Levy love working together.
Clean up on every aisle. Target is targeting your kids. They put
Got a sick beat, though, right? My God. They know how to throw a beat together.
target on my back, but they targeting your kids. They don't even need to ask, cause you all know what it is. Yeah, that's why I keep a strap, and I'm always by my business.
Wait a minute. Wait. I'm sorry. Let's just listen to those lyrics one more time. What was that?
They put a target on my back, but they targeting your kids.
They put a target on my back, but they're targeting your kids.
They don't even need to ask, cause you all know what it is.
They put a target on my back, but they're targeting your kids. They don't need to ask because you know what it is. What?
That's why I keep a strap, and I'm always by my business.
It's why I keep it strapped, because I'm always about my business. He's saying that's why I always keep a gun on my hip, because I'm about my business, whatever that business happens to be. One can only guess. Okay, go on. Grade A lyrical writing so far. I am loving it.
Agenda gotta stop. Yeah, you know we gonna win when they target. Yeah, they target and target. Yeah, they target kids. Target. Yeah, they target and target. Yeah, they target kids.
Dude, imagine being the poor son of a that was working at Target this day, and you see some jagoffs in a cart shaking up these bottles of wine like they're shake weights or something. It's just embarrassing and painful.
Is that wrong? Trying to play with the kids. It's the mayor of Megaville. I'm preaching again. You know that LGBTQ don't win.
Okay, now think about this. Let's just step back. Look at what we're looking at here. Think about this. What are we looking at? We're looking at Forgiato Blow complaining about gay, or just pride, I guess, pride at Target, and noting the fact that there are tampon boxes that are pink and also some that are blue. I have to imagine his complaint, the reason he put this in, is because he thinks that the blue ones are for boys and the pink ones are for girls. I don't know what other point he could be making with this. Like, it is so bottom of the barrel stupid. I don't even know what to do with it.
LGBTQ done went too far. You know they cutting these kids, they leaving scars. Why they push
This book he's holding up here, Rainbow High Yearbook, this has nothing to do with LGBT anything. And if you look closely, I mean, this thing has existed for like 30 years or something. It's a brand or whatever. It's a whole thing that has nothing to do with being gay. The main theme that you'll notice through this entire video is he is looking at things that he believes to be part of an agenda that aren't. Tampon boxes that are pink and blue. They're simply different brands. Rainbow High Yearbook. It's just a book. It's not even about gay stuff. And here's something else I noticed. So they're in the toy aisle complaining about targeting your kids, right? I'm not seeing anything like questionable in this toy aisle, right? So if we just skip forward a little bit, you'll notice there's a guy pointing out a thing here. Like, what is this? Why would they have this in the toy aisle? This is terrible. What is this exactly? What is it? It's a truck. It's a toy truck in the truck aisle, okay? There's nothing wrong with a truck in the truck aisle. What is he complaining about? I don't understand what his big hang-up is. Did he just pick some random toy and point at it on the shelf? Is he just pissed off that they're selling toys to kids? What is gay about this truck? I don't understand.
Yeah, they target, yeah, they target kids, target, yeah, they target and.
Okay, so this end cap right here is the only gay thing that I have actually seen in this Target so far in this music video. It's rainbow colored wine, and I think they're above it. I think they're rainbow beers. It's just a little Pride end cap with Take Pride alcohol. That's it. Very clearly not made for kids. Unless they think they're trying to get kids to drink wine. I don't know. So they just keep flipping between a Take Pride wine end cap and the toy aisle. Wine end cap and the book aisle. The children's book aisle. Wine end cap and the tampon aisle. Seriously. I mean, does it get any more ridiculous? Here's the top part of it. See, you can see this is, I guess it's just like canned wine. I've never heard of that before. And Stella Rosa bottled wine. I don't even know what that is. And these people are patriots, they claim. So anyway, the whole thing is just absurd and not based in reality at all. These people couldn't even find enough stuff in this store to make a realistic looking piece of propaganda. It's all ridiculous, all of it. As if that's not enough, Forgiato Blow goes on Fox News right when this released, late May 2023, to talk about how these kids are being manipulated and how disgusting that is.
I think it's just showing what the world needs. Like I said, it all starts with the children. Somebody has to stand up for the kids. Somebody has to stand up for the children. That's where they start with, this agenda with the younger group. They're easily manipulated by making them feel like, this is what everybody's doing. This is what you should be doing. And it's just not right. It's not right at all.
These people live in a fantasy land, man. I'm not joking. Like, I don't even know what to do with this. They think kids are being manipulated by Take Pride wine. That is all they could have found. You know how I know that's the only thing that was in that Target store? They go to this Target store. The only thing that said Take Pride on it anywhere was wine. I know that because that's the only thing they showed. I'm 100% certain if they could have found a single thing to display in a kids section that could have plausibly applied to kids in any way, they would have shown it. Anyway, that is Forgiato Blow, same guy that assisted in the production of this Freedom song that was made by, like, Jeremy Levy. Absolutely terrible, dude. Nothing good about any of this. It is sad and ridiculous. I will be damned if it's not entertaining to listen to, though.
From the shores of California, all the way down to the Keys.
It feels like he knows how to hold a note, but I think he's still relying heavily on auto-tune. Some rappers rely heavily on auto-tune, so I'll cut him a break for that one, I guess, a little.
Only he will bring us closer when we fall to our knees.
No excuse for that, dude.
and he'll lift us from the ground so that everyone can see that we never lost our freedom. It's in his glory.
Anyways, so I wanted to talk about Forgiato Blow, and I wanted to talk about Michael Flynn and how integrated into the evangelical movement he's become. Now, I've given you a little bit of information on this guy already, Michael Flynn. Let me give you a little bit more information on him, okay? So he's facing trial for, I think, acting as a foreign agent on Turkey's behalf, taking a contract while being a member of the U.S. government, an actor of the U.S. government. While operating under an oath, he took a contract out to capture a U.S. citizen and bring them to Turkey for the Turkish government. And Donald Trump pardons the guy, erases his sentence entirely, and then he starts doing this big tour, going to every televangelist he can to basically rebuild his reputation. And it worked among QAnon. He was successful in rebuilding his reputation among QAnoners. This is early August 2021. Kenneth Copeland, of all people, has him on his show.
There are field grade officers, I'm not happy to say, that just are glad they have a lot of rank.
Field grade officers that are glad they have a lot of rank. What? What is he even saying? Do these words make sense when put next to each other?
But General Flynn is a soldier's soldier.
No, he's not. He's a traitor to the U.S. government, actually.
General Flynn is the kind of man that will not ask a soldier, a slick sleeve like me.
Does Kenneth Copeland consider himself a soldier? What does slick sleeve mean? I gotta look this up. What does slick sleeve mean? What is a slick sleeve in the Army? Slick sleeve's a term we use for soldiers who have never deployed. It's a derogatory term. Especially used the higher rank they hold. Okay, interesting. Well, Kenneth Copeland, to my knowledge, has never been in the military, so he's not a slick sleeve. He's just not a soldier at all, but all right. He's also like 93 or something, isn't he? He's 86. I was close. Significantly older than Joe Biden or Donald Trump, actually, by like 7 years. When you get up into those years, every year is significant.
That will not ask a soldier, a slick sleeve like me, to do anything he wouldn't do.
How does he know anything about how Michael Flynn operated as a general? What is he even talking about?
I would like for General Michael Flynn to join me on this platform, please.
He's not a general. He had that rank stripped. I'm going to insist on drilling that into people's heads. He is a traitor, not a general.
I'm going to give you a hug.
Yes.
Anyways, like I said, he was trying to rebuild his reputation after all that stuff he did. And, visiting the talk show circuit, he went on Copeland. He went to campaign for Republicans. This is a campaign event for Jackson LaMayer. Jackson LaMayer, by the way, is a pastor. He ended up losing his election, but I think he's kind of setting himself up for a political career in the future. Early March 2022, Michael Flynn came up with this clever little line that he used everywhere he went, and here it is.
This is a war that we're in. This is a big-time spiritual war. People like Nancy Pelosi, she's a demon, you know?
Identifying people that you consider to be your adversary, identifying somebody on the other side as subhuman, as a cockroach or a demon or a whatever, is actually one of the first steps to genocide, in all seriousness. I'm not saying that flippantly. I'm trying to really drive this point home. This is how serious violence begins, when people do this kind of thing right here. If you'll notice, you can go all the way back 8, 9 years to the beginning of when I started my YouTube channel, you will never find me calling somebody by any name, cockroach or demon or any of that. It's an escalation that is as disturbing as it gets.
She's a demon, you know?
People clapping for this, man. Anyway, he also said, God, I didn't get that clip. I mean, I have the clip. I just didn't put it in. I thought I put it in. He also said that the 10 Commandments were the basis for the Bill of Rights. He says, put them next to each other when you go home and just compare them. No to literally all of that. The Bill of Rights are things like freedom of speech, freedom to have a well-regulated militia, the Second Amendment. I mean, what are they? Freedom against involuntary quartering, which basically means the government can't force you to house troops in your home. It's not as important today, but it was important when it was written. What are some of the... I'm just trying to remember some of them right off the top of my head. I think that one is... number 4 is freedom against search and seizure, unlawful search and seizure. Number 5, I think, is freedom... No, it's due process, so you have a right to a speedy trial. No, Fifth Amendment is a right against self-incrimination, and it may also include the speedy trial stuff. Let me see what number 6 is. I at least I can get up to number 5. Oh, no, number 6 is speedy trial, and number 5 is self-incrimination. So I can get up to 6, I guess. What's number 7? Seventh Amendment codifies the right to a jury trial in certain civil cases and inhibits courts from overturning a jury's findings of fact. I mean, does any of this sound like the 10 Commandments to you? Any of it at all? The 8th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects against imposing excessive bail, excessive fines, or cruel and unusual punishments. If I remember correctly, the 10 Commandments was in favor of cruel and unusual punishments. The amendment was adopted 1791. See, what's the 9th Amendment? 9th Amendment addresses rights retained by the people that are not specifically enumerated in the Constitution. Oh, this is an important one. So basically, it turned the Constitution into a permission slip. This is what the Constitution is... this is what the government is allowed to do or not allowed to do. They are not, by default, they're not allowed to do anything else. You have the right to do anything you want unless explicitly outlined in the Constitution. It's like a permission slip. I don't know. I'm not explaining this well, but let's see. 10th Amendment, a part of the Bill of Rights ratified, blah, blah, blah. Any powers that are not specifically given to the federal government nor withheld from the states are reserved to those respective states or the people at large. Okay. Wait, I'm not sure what the difference between the 9th and the 10th are. Anyway, the point is, they have nothing to do with the 10 Commandments. Nothing. How is any of that connected to the 10 Commandments? And then there's this little ditty right here, mid-November 2021, still doing his tour, trying to build his reputation.
And they're talking about the United States of America. Talking about the United States of America, because when Matthew mentioned it in the Bible...
Oh my God, he thinks the Bible was talking about the U.S.
He wasn't talking about the physical ground that he was on. He was talking about something in the distance. So if we are going to have one nation under God, which we must, we have to have one religion, one nation under God and one religion under God, right? All of us.
Great, okay, let's make it Islam. I pick Islam. How do you feel about that one? You good with that one? Let's pick Islam, or you know what? Let's pick Buddhism. This dude doesn't want religious equality or religious freedom. He wants to impose his religion upon others. He wants to force you to worship his God at the barrel of a gun. If you don't, he will make you, or make you leave, or take you out the old-fashioned way. This dude is about as disturbing as it gets. Everybody in this video by Jeremy Levy is as disturbing as it gets. To be honest with you, Michael Flynn isn't even the most disturbing person in this video, this rap video here. There are even worse people. Anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments. These people are just nuts, man. And stick around for the next one, because we're going to be talking about Big Nick and Liz Crokin next. Skorvik's God gives you freedom but enables you to threaten mine. This song is hot garbage, 0 out of 10. Agreed. They're fantastic singers, some of them, others are about as bad as singers get. I'm a bad singer, really bad singer, but I know how to critique it at the very least. They're about as bad as it gets, truthfully. But yeah, these people want to impose their beliefs upon others. When they talk about freedom, when they write their songs about freedom, make no mistake, they want to take your freedom. That's clear as can be when you hear them saying things like this.
He wasn't talking about the physical ground that he was on. He was talking about something in the distance. So if we are going to have one nation under God, which we must, we have to have one religion, one nation under God and one religion under God, right? All of us together, working together.
Tell me again how oppressed you are and how you want freedom for everybody. Go ahead. Tell me all about the freedom you're shooting for, guys.
We will all stick together and we'll never surrender.
It's just cringy and terrible.